Okay.
Let's make this Marvel movie tier list. I stuck to just the movies because I'm not sure if we have time to do all the TV shows and everything too. And I went through and put them in timeline order. So.
Okay. Perfect.
And do we want to get rid of E or leave the E and just use all these? We might. We can see. We'll just start. So start with Iron Man 1.
I would put it in S tier.
Yeah, I agree. It started it. It's really good. They basically didn't they just like ad-lib the whole thing and it turned out really good.
Yeah, with Robert Downey Jr. and it still holds up today.
Yeah,
effects and everything
for sure. It kicked it all off.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely the best Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not saying much. But...
Okay, Incredible. Yeah. Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk.
I'm curious where you would put this.
It's been a long time since I've watched this. I just from what I remember, I would put it probably in C.
Okay.
Maybe B, but I don't remember it that well, which makes me think it wasn't like the Abomination was kind of cool. That was a cool fight. But I don't remember much else of the movie, honestly. It's been a long time since I rewatched it though. What do you think?
Yeah, I would put it at C. I rewatched it last year, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
But I think the effects look good. The Abomination was pretty cool, and the guy who played Abomination, God, his name Tim Roth, I think his name is.
Yeah, that is who did.
I mean, he has such a cool line. I remember him saying, "Like, how do you feel like a monster?" Like, I don't know. It's just
that is a good line.
It's average, but it's kind of hard to do.
I almost forget that it's an MCU movie. that's kind of
like everyone does.
Yeah.
Because technically, the Incredible that would have kicked off the MCU, but no one.
Yeah.
No one counts that.
Yeah. Okay, this is Iron Man 2.
Oh man.
Let me think. Which one was Iron Man 2? That was the one with the War Machine and Whiplash.
I will say this, I don't hate it as much as most people.
I agree. It's just kind of like not as memorable as Iron Man 1.
I would put it at C.
I agree. I don't know whether I put it above or below. Probably below, but I don't know.
I'll probably put it below too. Like the scene was cool when War Machine and Iron Man, were in that plant place fighting all the robots. Like it had cool and Whiplash had potential.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'd put it in C. A lot of people probably would have ranked that less, but
yeah. Okay, Thor 1.
I would put in probably B.
Yeah, I like Thor 1. It's pretty good. It's not like the best movie, but you know.
No, definitely better than average. Like it's for a superhero movie, it's good, acting good, special effects good.
Yeah.
But it was like, it's just an introduction. Nothing. It introduced Loki, so like it was good, but not like Iron Man 1 good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Captain America, the first Avenger.
So I think I like this more than most people too. I'd probably put it at B as well.
I would put it low B, high C, somewhere in there. I think you like it a little more than me. I think if there was a little less montage and a little more show in the fights, it would be higher for me. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I just like that. I love the atmosphere and the time period and the ending of it. I had a dance. Like I liked it more than most people, but I agree with you. Like that's why I kind of say B. It's good, but it doesn't have that super. Besides the time period, it doesn't have that super memorable moments.
Yeah, for sure. The Avengers.
So this one's tricky for me because if you want to just put like history and epicness, S, but if you want me to put like be honest, like it's not even my favorite Avenger movie. Like, so I'd probably put it at A, to be quite honest. But like, you almost have to put it at S because it's the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, I was thinking S. Like,
I enjoy. I think Infinity War and Endgame are better movies. I'm not saying this movie's bad. It's just a very basic team up. Which I guess at the time was fine.
It was like the first one.
Yeah,
so it had some novelty to it. But now, after all how huge Endgame, and it seems, when you go back and watch it, it seems less impactful.
But I get what you're saying, because if, I'm going to rate it as if I was in that time, in that moment, and I would put it in S.
Yeah.
If it was 2012 right now,
S for sure, yeah.
That was iconic. So I'll put it S.
We could maybe move it down if we have too many S's. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man 3.
Man.
Iron Man 3.
This one I'm split on too, because I actually liked Iron Man's character in this movie. I liked the whole Christmas feeling. Yeah. I hated the Mandalorian twist.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is what brings it down. I know some people didn't mind it because it was funny and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay, but like what it could have been, I think, is what brings it down for me.
I would probably put it in D, right where you have it. It's sad though, because I actually liked, I thought Iron Man in this movie,
Iron Man was good. I don't feel like the villain Killian was that good, and the extremist stuff. No. It was just average, nothing special.
And the ending wasn't. I mean, it wasn't my favorite. Just a bunch of no-name robots fighting.
And then they just all explode. But then he has them back after. It was kind of
Yeah, I agree. I'll put it in D.
Yeah. Thor: The Dark World.
This is it's getting good.
Getting good. This is probably the least memorable movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's honestly longer ago than some of the others.
Empty.
Yeah, empty.
You're right. It was
Malekith could have been cool, but he was just so generic, and the team up between Thor and Loki's cool, but the story was just, I don't know,
that's the best way to put it.
Nothing really hit. Yeah, it was generic.
It felt like that movie had, in the grand scheme of things, that movie was almost pointless. That movie didn't even need to be made.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't impact very much of the rest of the.
Yeah, I agree. Not the best. I'll put it this way: I don't go back and rewatch that.
No, I don't either.
Okay.
Captain America. The Winter Soldier. Yeah, S.
Freaking S tier. That might be actually my favorite freaking movie out of all of them.
Yeah, it's really good. It felt like the first one that really stepped it up in terms of production and there was something about it where it was dang, this is a on another level. Avengers was big because it had the team up, but Winter Soldier for me
felt raw fighting. It felt real, and that's what the movie that made everyone love Captain America. In the first movie, I mean, Captain America was okay, but it was never people's favorite.
Yeah.
After the Winter Soldier, they made Captain America a badass.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and using his shit. Yeah, I think that's top notch. Action, everything.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one.
I'll put that in A, probably.
I would agree with A. It's really good.
I love it.
Yep. It's not the best of the best, but it's a solid movie. I'll go back and rewatch that one for sure.
Yeah, it's better than most, but it's not like that top tier.
Yep.
For me, yeah.
Age of Ultron.
So this is gonna be the interesting one, because I feel like we may rate this different.
I'm trying to. It was a little disappointing, but it's hard to tell if it was because it was a bad movie or because I was expecting the Avengers appear
it's
to be on the same level. Yeah. I'm stuck between B and C, I think. I think it's a pretty good movie, the fact that it's Avengers and not S tier might drop it down to C. I don't know. What do you think?
So I would actually put it at B. I know a lot of people bagged this movie.
Yeah.
But Ultron was an awesome villain.
Ultron was cool.
Menacing. I thought the movie was hilarious. I love like that scene we were talking about with picking up the hammer. Like I thought this is the first time, like the first movie, the Avengers weren't really together, like, and when there was just action. This one they're hanging out, they know each other.
Yeah.
I think this one was maybe not underrated, but underappreciated. I liked it.
Could be.
Not the best.
This is the one this is the Avengers I've rewatched the least. I probably need to go back and rewatch it and see.
It's funny. Like it's a funny movie.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
do
like,
remember it having a lot of quips and being funny. Yeah.
So like I liked it, and a lot of people would rank it the last Avengers movie, but so would I. It doesn't mean I don't like it.
It's true. It is still an Avengers movie, and you get to see them all fight. And one thing, I don't like how they killed off a speedster by shooting him. That seems kind of silly, but you know.
I know. Were they trying to be like ironic or something?
I don't know.
Irony, or I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't that good of a character, so.
Yeah. Okay.
But we got Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is cool for sure. Ant-Man. The first
Ant-Man, I would put at B.
I could do A or B. Yeah, like, yeah, I could
Smaller
see B.
Scale, like, I loved the characters. I loved the no high stakes.
Yeah,
it was interesting finally having an Avenger with like a daughter. You know, it kind of did a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Like that fight scene at the end was really cool, like in the room and they shrunk and it's like,
that was really cool.
And all that, like, so like I liked it.
Yeah, Ant-Man one was good.
I'll put it at B. Like I said, I don't think it's to the scale of like Guardians or like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
I could do B for sure. Yeah. Civil War.
I'm curious where you put this.
So this to me felt like an Avengers movie. I think I would put it above Ultron for sure. I think it's at least an A. Possibly S, but I
agree. It's hard because I would put an A or S too, and I'm kind of contemplating because I think as far as like characters, Civil War is top notch.
Yeah.
Like you're getting, you know, Tony and they're divided, and it's not about the action, even though there is great action.
Yeah, there is.
It's the characters. It's very like political and very like it's very like philosophical. Like what's better, right? Should they have more control over us, or we should be free? You know, I'd put it at S tier.
I think I would put it at S tier. I like how they pitted them against each other. It felt pretty natural. Like I feel like they could have done this where they're just fighting over something stupid, but they made it like have a lot of emotional weight and
that's what changed the rest of the movies. That's the kind of divide. That's what divided everybody really until the Avengers, the next Avenger movies.
Yep, for sure. Doctor Strange. I think I think I would put this either B or A. Well, let me think. Is it above any of these?
I would put it in B. I would probably put it above Ant-Man, Avengers, probably, and probably even a Captain America.
Yeah, it was a really good origin story.
Yeah, I liked it, and I liked the magic aspect.
Yep, the mirror dimension thing was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a solid introduction. Nothing crazy, but like solid.
Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I'm curious where you put this because I feel like we're gonna be different on this.
I initially liked it, but honestly, this is another one that's kind of forgettable.
I'm into my. Well, I don't know. People are, different about this, but I did not like this movie. I would put it at D. That's how much I didn't like it. But I know it was
okay. Like, it introduced Mantis, who's pretty cool, and I don't really remember her in that one, honestly. But in the future movies, she's pretty cool.
People like the villain Ego, but
I did not.
It was so it was so obvious. It was the most obvious thing in the world, and it just felt like it tried to do the first movie over again, and it felt like, to me, that's boring. That's childish.
Yeah,
like, oh, the first one worked so good, I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Yep.
I
Iron Man 3 above Thor: The Dark World. I would agree with that. Like, I could maybe move it up to C. That's not saying that much. It's
Most
not one of my favorites.
Would.
Yeah.
People tend to like that movie still.
I think it's just because the Guardians are such a good group. Like,
yeah,
they're so likable. But that movie overall, just to me, was forgettable.
Yeah. Agreed.
Spider-Man. Is this? I think I might have mixed this up. Is Far From Home? No, Homecoming is the first.
Far From Home's the second one. Homecoming's the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
Homecoming. I'll put an A. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I know there's those true Spider-Man lovers that this isn't Spider-Man, yada yada yada.
I don't.
I thought Tom Holland did great. Yeah. I thought the villain was awesome.
The Vulture was cool. Yeah, I like the Vulture.
So intimidating, and I thought it was a good origin story without being an origin story.
Yeah. And the dynamic between Tony and Peter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved all that. I thought it was really good. Great.
His companion, Ned, and of course,
that's great.
Zendaya, and it was good. I liked it. I think that's one of the better movies. Like, I'll rewatch. Honestly, I'll rewatch all those Spider-Man movies, but we'll get to the other ones.
Yeah. Okay, Thor Ragnarok.
I would probably put this in S tier.
Yeah, I would agree. It's either the highest of A or the low, or in S. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, you're right. It could be the highest of A, but for now, I'd probably put it in those. That's one of the movies where I will put on my rotation. If I need to rewatch this again.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok is so good. Black Panther. I'm interested.
I would put it in B.
In B, yeah.
A lot of people would probably put it higher, but the villain, awesome.
Yep, Killmonger's great.
And even, T'Challa, like Black Panther, I thought he was great too. But that's it. I thought it was, everyone praised this for being the best thing in the world, and for some reasons it was.
Yeah, I could maybe bump it up to A. I like it, but it's.
What puts it down for me is the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. It was just, that fight could have been so cool, and it just wasn't. It didn't hit like it should have.
Apparently, it's a problem with Black Panther because I'm going to say the same thing with the second.
Yeah,
but I'll put it at B. It was significant. It was a movie that was. It was important. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to demean the movie. Me personally, I think it's overrated. I think it's an average movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I would put it at B. But
I could agree with that. I could go with B or A. So I'll leave it at top of B. That's fine with me.
Yep.
Avengers Infinity War.
I would put that right behind Winter Soldier, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
I think that is the best Avengers movie. Better than Endgame, too.
Yeah, I agree. I think Infinity War. I could probably switch these and put Infinity War here.
But... I probably could, too. That movie, man, that was... I remember seeing that in theaters, man. Just...
Yeah, so good.
Nothing to compare. It was insane. And when Thor dropped in with Rocket Raccoon at the very end,
so
after
cool.
The snap and God, dude, I don't think there'll ever be a moment like that again, at least for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely up there.
Having to wait for 6 months or whatever it was just to know what happens.
Yep.
Oh, that was so
excitement.
Great.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
Probably best MCU movie.
Yeah, I'll put that. Yeah, I'll put that over Winter Soldier. I agree.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is another one. This one actually might be the most of. I don't remember. Oh wait, now I don't remember what happened very much. Ghost is one of the. To be honest,
I don't remember either, but I remember I liked it, but it was okay. From what I remembered, I'd probably C.
I think because the Ghost lady was pretty cool. I think I remember. That's that. Yeah, that might mean we need to bump it down, but I think I liked it, but it's pretty forgettable.
From what I remembered is I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as the first.
Yeah,
I know
for
that
sure. I had the same.
I would probably put it.
Yeah, I'll leave it at C. Captain Marvel. I think you're going to have a stronger feeling on this one than I am.
I would put that at D.
Yeah, I would put it between C or D. Like, it was okay. I didn't hate it, so I could put it in C, but I could see why you'd put it in D.
Her character in that movie, I just cannot stand. I'm sorry. Something about, she's so like smug, like I'm better.
She's very smug, yeah.
And for it being like themed in the 90s, I didn't feel like it, besides them shoehorning in Blockbuster. Like
True.
It was basic, and I know they brought in the scrolls, which we can talk about that later, but I'm not a huge fan of the scrolls. I'm not a fan of it. I would put that D.
It's definitely not. I think I've only seen this movie once, maybe twice. Like, I do not rewatch this one.
Yeah, it's not that good. Second one looks even worse, though. So.
I haven't even bothered to look at the second one. So I guess I agree with you in D. Okay, Endgame.
Endgame. I mean, you would have to put that in S just because it completes the story, right? Like,
where in S is a good question. It does. It's a good movie. Definitely not above Infinity War. I like that one better.
It's just hard because, like, if we're judging it on an individual movie, it doesn't like. It's kind of hard to judge it on that.
Yeah.
Like Infinity War to me felt like a more complete movie.
Yeah, this is literally just the culmination of years and years of like everything being. It's hard to judge it by just It's
like you can watch Avengers Infinity War and it feels like there's a start, there's a middle, and it ends. Like Thanos won.
Yeah.
And in this movie, though, I feel like you lose that context, like what's going on. So I would, if I'm judging it as a combination, I mean, you would have to put it by Infinity War, right? One big movie.
True, yeah, that's true.
But if you're judging it like individually, I'll probably put it behind Endgame and Iron Man, or Endgame and Iron Man, Winter Soldier and Iron Man.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also a disservice, though. But
yeah, let's leave them here for now. Okay, so this is Far From Home. This is the one with Mysterio, right?
Yes. And I feel like I'm in a minority, but I love this one. I would probably put it in B.
I liked it.
I loved the whole, like, vacation. Like, they're in, where'd they go, Italy or wherever they went.
Yeah.
Then I loved the whole style of it. And Mysterio was cool.
I thought the way they did Mysterio with the visual effects background was pretty interesting. I liked the end where it revealed he was Peter Parker. That was like a whoa moment. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I would put it in B.
I would agree. It's not as good as the first one, but still very solid. Oh. Black Widow.
This is one I don't have an opinion on because I've actually never seen this one.
Really? You've never seen Black Widow?
No, believe it or not. I haven't seen this, and I have not seen The Eternals. So those two, I cannot have an opinion.
Honestly, I'd probably put them in a similar spot. I did not particularly like Black Widow. I don't know if I'd put it in D or E.
It's a victim of wrong timing.
I also didn't like what they did with the enemy. I can't even remember his name. Taskmaster. Yeah, it didn't really hit with me. It took me forever to watch this movie. I didn't watch this movie till years after it came out, and then it just was So I'm okay. Maybe above Thor, but
okay. I'm sure that's similar that most people would do.
Yeah. Shang-Chi. This is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I remember really liking this movie.
I would actually put this in A tier.
I was going to say A.
This is one of the better origin stories.
Yeah, it was a really good origin story.
Like, I really enjoyed this. The characters, I loved the action.
It was funny. The action was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, like bringing in a new character after so many movies in the MCU, they did a really good job with that and making him unique. And yeah,
I'm mad they haven't haven't him cameo in like anything else.
Yeah,
like they keep having like these characters from the shows like Miss Marvel and these other characters, and all these people like appearing, and like, where's he?
Yeah, I agree. He needs to come back for sure. Okay, Eternals. You have not watched. I would probably put it in E or F because I don't remember liking it particularly much, and I don't remember anything about that movie.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and those are the only two ones I haven't seen.
Yeah, that's probably a reason why you haven't seen them.
And I just didn't have an interest. Like, we already knew, spoiler, Black Widow was dead.
Yep.
And the Eternals just did not look good to me, just from the trailer. I wasn't interested at all.
I don't remember hardly anything. They did some weird thing with, like, well, I guess I shouldn't spoil it unless, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it one day.
Yeah, so they did some weird things in that movie that should have impacted other things, but didn't really. So, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what they're doing with that. This is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, man.
This is the one.
Put that. I'll put that freaking here. I'll probably put that right underneath Winter Soldier or above Winter Soldier.
It's so good.
Like, I loved it. And you could argue that, you know, it's all fanfare and story's not that great, yada yada yada.
I don't care. That movie was so good. Seeing the three Spider-Mans together, and that's
like, I never ever thought in a billion years we'd ever see Tobey Maguire again. Like,
I agree.
That's what we grew up watching.
Yep.
You know, like,
that was so cool seeing him.
Oh, and not only that, they played a part in the story too. It wasn't just like a little cameo.
Yeah. And you know what surprised me was how much Andrew Garfield carried. Like, him bouncing off the other Spider-Mans. His movies were probably my least favorite of the, like, Spider-Man movies overall. I still liked them, but, like, him as Spider-Man though was good, bouncing off all the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, even him in the movies. Actually, this would be interesting to have one week. We should do like a specifically Spider-Man movies and theme. That'd be kind of interesting because there's so much of these Spider-Man movies.
True.
I actually think he did good. His movies are my least favorite, but him as actual Spider-Man, like, I didn't care for him as Peter Parker.
Yeah, I agree.
But actually, Spider-Man was always great.
Yeah, like definitely. He was held back by his movies, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And this movie showed it, right? Like, because he was probably, as much as I love Tobey Maguire, he was probably like the scene stealer, you know, in this movie.
I agree.
But yeah, a great movie.
Okay, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, we're getting to the interesting ones now. Honestly, like, I think this is a very average movie. I would say C.
Average is a good way to put it. Like, there were some things that were good about this movie, like the horror. They made Scarlet Witch seem kind of pretty scary, like the horror aspect of Sam Raimi. But like, that's kind of.
But like, it felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like Sam Raimi was only allowed to do so much, and Marvel's like, okay, you can't do too much. Because half of it felt like his cool, like, creepy style. Like, I know you never saw The Evil Dead or any of those. Yeah. But, like, they kind of have, like, his style, and then, like, half of it seems like, oh, you can't go too far.
Yeah, I agree.
And I do think, as cool as it was to see some of those cameos, like, for it being called Multiverse of Madness, they didn't go to a lot of places.
Yeah, true.
Or at least a lot of places, like, for longer than like a little split second.
Yeah, the cameos were cool, but yeah,
they were cool. Yeah, and one last thing on this one, this is a trend with these movies. The hero that the movie is titled after is never actually the hero in these movies. It's always someone else.
Yeah,
because I mean, it was
with the newer ones.
America Chop with the newer ones. Yeah, like with this one,
America Chavez.
We'll get to all the other ones, like specifically the shows.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Hawkeye and anyways, yeah. So my issue is with these new ones throughout all of them is they tend to bring in new characters that are like more useful and powerful than them per se. I don't know.
Yeah, they're gearing up for the future, and I feel like it kind of holds these ones back a little bit.
It's a grim future.
Okay.
But yes, I am one of the people that are not looking forward to a lot of future projects.
We'll see. Yeah.
But
I've fallen off a little bit, but they could bring me back in. We'll see. All right.
We'll see.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
I think this is average too. I'll put this at C.
I think it's average. Like, I had some laughs in the theater, but it felt very much like a popcorn or like a snack food rather than like a full meal kind of thing. Like,
and for them digging into such deep themes,
like it's a little too goofy.
Yeah, and like it's a little
and
too
God
goofy.
Slaying.
Yeah, like God slaying and death and and cancer and all. Like, it's a little too, like, that's what Ragnarok had the right balance.
Yeah.
And this didn't. And I think even Chris Hemsworth even admitted that.
Yeah.
He said they're having so much fun making this movie that they, when you're having so much fun making it, and after I realizes
that makes sense. Yeah.
Now, I will say, I actually, again, I don't know if a lot of people like this. I actually liked the ending. I love the idea of like Thor kind of, and maybe it's because I'm a father with a daughter.
Yeah, Thor dad was pretty cool to see. I like that too.
And the actress was his real daughter. Apparently.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like, I think that's such an interesting thing to take this character, because he's kind of already like a goofball dad type thing.
Yeah.
I actually liked the ending. Like, the ending actually did get me excited for future stuff, because it'd be so interesting to see him like kind of train a daughter type thing, and keep that goofiness, but like it's like serious stakes, right? Like, it's your kid.
Yeah. And the after credit scene was it Hercules? I forget what the character.
Oh yeah, Hercules was.
I really like the actor who's playing Hercules. He's great in Ted Lasso. And
oh, that's right. It's
him.
Him.
Yeah, he's Roy.
See, I didn't start watching Ted Lasso until after I saw that. But now
I was literally watching Ted Lasso when I saw Thor: Love and Thunder. So I was like, oh my God, that's Roy.
Man, if I would have watched Ted Lasso first and saw that, I would have gone even more crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as much as I give crap on this movie, I liked the ending. I liked the potential of what they can do.
Yeah.
So at least with this one, it ended hopefully for me.
True. Yeah. Okay. Wakanda Forever.
I'll probably put this one in, I feel like there's so many B's, but I'll probably put it in B too.
Yeah, I was trying to think if I liked it better than the first one. And
I personally did not.
So. What the heck? Stop it, you. Yeah. I think it was a great send off to Chadwick. I think it's more middle B.
I agree. And the action, excluding the last 30 minutes, don't get me started with that. The action was actually really good. And the girl who took over the mantle, I didn't dislike her, so that's saying something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, it's not going to be Chadwick Boseman. Sure. I mean, you're not going to top that, but I don't think they were trying to go for that.
Yeah.
The only thing with this movie that held it down, because this could have been an A. Like, I did like it that much.
I was debating A, but yeah, there's...
The last 30 minutes, like, I just don't... I don't know what is with these Black Panther movies, but the end, to me, just aren't good.
I wonder if it... I don't know. Like, it makes it seem like one-on-one fighting for Black Panther just doesn't translate as well as...
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's just something about it. And then Shuri, like I said, I liked her, but all of a sudden she was like a pro at the end, hopping off walls.
It's true, she did pick it up very quickly.
And it'd be fine if they like showed her like training a little more. I know she already has some experience, with technology and stuff, but I don't know, it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
So that was one criticism.
She just got the Black Panther flower and then was able to defeat Namor no problem. Like, there was no
she's like clawing up walls and doing flips and all this stuff. Like, dang, girl. It was cool, but like... So, and then I thought the end... Well, this is contradicting myself, but the very, very last scene I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah.
With the talk with... I don't want to spoil it, but the talk at the end. Yeah, very
emotional. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, so I thought it was good. And when I was in the theater, I remember walking out. I'm like, man, this was good.
Yeah,
it's a good send off. That bridge scene with the Michonne girl, the actress who plays Michonne, I thought was the best scene in the whole movie. Yeah. So better. It has better highs than the lows. So
yeah, true. Now, the opposite of that, Quantumania. I'd put it maybe D.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I might. I don't know if I don't know if this is controversial, but I might even like Thor: Dark World more than this. I did not like this movie.
So you'd want to put it in E or F?
I would put it in E or F.
Yeah, let's
like
put
the
it
first
in...
two movies was.
Yeah, like after the first two, it's pretty disappointing. I was
gonna go on a rant, but I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah. We'll just leave it there, and it's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. Move on.
Okay, Guardians 3, I think, is at least an A.
So
maybe
I'm gonna say
S.
This is my favorite Guardians movie. I like it more than the first one, even.
Yeah, it was.
And I was
really
curious
good.
on your thoughts, which we could talk about after this.
Yeah, it was really good. It would either be here for me or here. Maybe we'll do it top of A. If I can get it.
I would put like top of A. I'd put it above Guardians 1.
Yeah.
I really love this movie. Again, we'll talk about it here in a second. But
do you want to shuffle any of these around before we go? Let's see. These look good. Yeah.
No, those top movies are probably what I would. I keep wanting to put Civil War kind of above Avengers and Iron Man.
Yeah.
But I'll maybe above. I don't know. I would actually probably put it above Avengers, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And probably Iron Man, just because it was so like.
It's a really good movie.
It was such good characterization and just like the character. It had all the Avengers, but it wasn't about the action. Like, and I loved that. Guardians, I'd probably that same.
That's good.
Yeah, those would probably stay the same. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid list.